and welcome tankers to another episode of World of Tanks with PR154. Now we're here today on Siegfried line with the Black Prince. Now this was a tank that I initially struggled with, but I did have an epiphany given to me by a clanmate of the first clan that I've ever joined, and this is where one of the best pieces of advice you can give a developing tanker is join a clan, even if it's some crappy little social casual pubbie clan. It doesn't need to be a competitive clan. You just need to be interacting with other players who you can sort of talk about the game and bounce ideas off, and you start to pick things up along the way. You start to pick up words like sidescraping, which up until that point I thought that was just what happened when you miscalculated your exeunt from the garage or bugger up your parallel park. But no, in fact it is the key to surviving in tanks like the Black Prince. Although how I made it through Churchill 1 and Churchill 7 to actually get to the Black Prince in the first place, I have absolutely no idea. Now in this case we're not side scraping, we're just using this rubble to play from a hull down position and just trying to get some initial spots and damage onto the enemy. But it looks like the enemy team has decided to employ pretty much the same tactic, working the rubble on the opposing corridor, except they outnumber me slightly. They've got a Black Prince and an OI. In that case, perhaps side scraping is not going to be the best idea in the world. The OI has quite a potent high explosive gun on it, and high explosive shells. If you can't penetrate a side scraping enemy with well-angled armor with AP or APCA, you pretty well have to go to the high explosive anyway. So being a little bit cautious of that. Anyway, I've had an initial shot trade. I've managed to bounce over 1,000 damage off them so far, and they're not having a hell of a lot of luck penetrating me. They've sort of changed their angle to a better side scraping position, and concordantly I'm not having a lot of luck penetrating them. I kept shooting at this area, trying to track him or do something this game, and I suspect there might be some gaps between the armor model and the visuals. If you like toolbox and track covers and other embellishments. So we weren't achieving too much there, but at the same time we probably wouldn't have achieved too much by pushing at this point anyway, considering we're already 2 tanks down, having lost our light tanks in the field. So it's probably on that realization we probably need to do something a little bit more proactive in the city. So we've made a bit of a bold push, hoping that the OI and the Black Prince will sort of stay in place, and that we can sort of 1v1 this KV3. Having got to this particular piece of building, now we are side scraping. We're sort of angling that side armor with mixed results. But I think the KV3 has realised that between my tank, the KV85, and a couple of Cromwells, there's probably a bit too much damage per minute in this equation for him to survive all that long. So we take him out of the equation fairly promptly. We come around the corner and the side of the OI, so we'll make sure we tap that while we're there. Do we get another shot in on the OI? Yes, we do. And you can see the Black Prince is waiting for us to round that corner. He's appears to have put a shot into our tracks. It doesn't cost us any damage. Sneaky shot into the Black Prince on the way through, but our main target here is the OI. So you always want to be trying to take enemy guns out of the game, even if you've got to eat a shell or two to do it. That just multiplies the effect of just less shells that are going to be coming back at you, and an OI at close range is just not appetizing. So we're in a bit of a shot trade with this Black Prince. We're a few bounces, a few penetrations, and we managed to win that particular engagement. Our Cromwell flanks around to engage the enemy medium tanks. We see there's a VK30 that's making an escape. We can see the M4 FL10. That's the M4 with the EBR turret. Try to line up their enemy Hellcat, but our team managed to take him out first. That's all right. We'll just we'll just take out the enemy VK, bouncing shots from the VK without any issues, but he has some artillery looking out for him in this particular instance. So that brings us down to 694 hit points, well, less than half health. Two enemy SPGs are still in the game. One of their medium tanks is still in the game, but predominantly the forces they have left are out in the field between the A46, the AC4, the Super Hellcat. In hindsight, driving out here was not a very smart idea. Unfortunately, the Black Prince, it just suffers on open maps. It's slow. It's food for artillery. Basically, its rotational mobility is pretty good, far superior to the Churchills, but yeah, in these situations, you basically just food for arty. So we're trying our best to make our retreat back to the city, while our Cromwell and ISU 122S are sort of starting to make the move on the cap. Unfortunately, the M44 has put a killing shot into us, and so that's the end of the game for the Black Prince. But fortunately, my teammates have had a slightly better tactical read on the situation. That Cromwell and ISU 122S in particular. The A46 is essentially a passive scout. AC4 experimental, has a 17-pound gun that'll even make Tier 8s quiver with its, particularly when it's firing premium ammunition. It has one of the best concealment ratings of the game, so it's not like with the assets that we have that we're going to be able to get in and see those tanks and dig them out. And Super Hellcat, well, it's just that combination of mobility and view range and gun handling, so we weren't going to take that fight either. So excellent tactical decision making by Cromwell and ISU 122S in taking the flag and securing the victory for us. Let's go and take a look at the results. And there we have it, folks. It's victory. Thanks in no small part to the Cromwell and the ISU 122S. It's always a bit nerve-wracking when you lose your light tanks early in the game, because you just places you at a horrendous disadvantage, particularly on maps like that where you do have quite a lot of open space that you need to negotiate. So we've done reasonably well here. We've caused just over 2,700 damage, taken out 3 enemy tanks, bounced over 3,000 damage, and was able to get over 1,100 assist damage. So we've been able to come away with Ace Mastery and also the High Calibre badge, where we've sort of caused more than 1,000 hit points of damage, but crucially, the damage that you've caused comprises at least 20% of the total enemy hit point pool single-handedly. Having a look at the rest of the team, we can see Boney Hunt, the Cromwell, has scored quite well. He was quite instrumental in town in providing a lot of supporting fire for those targets I was engaging. And shout out to Max 72AU of Nightfall Brigade for taking the initiative to jump on the cap nice and early. You can see he's come away with sort of 61 out of the 100 base capture and defense points. So well done to those guys, and thanks for the win. And if you'd like to see your replays featured on World of Tanks with PR154, please get in touch via Discord or any of the given links below, and we'll see what we can do for you. In the meantime, take care out there.